but they're a little squirrely, you know.
They are.
Changing direction here and there. And when you've got a big envelope, especially if it's anything other than just the basic teardrop, that can be very tricky and downright dangerous. And as Eddie was talking about during our last break, it's not just at the surface, but the upper atmosphere that they're concerned about today.
Right, yeah. It looked like, based on the last readings that I saw, and of course there is equipment here on the field, it looked like about 1,000 feet up, we're at 20 miles per hour. And you know that for balloon flying, that's above the threshold.
Yeah, so we'll see. You know, the good thing is it's still early, and we've got a window of opportunity. We don't have to launch at 7:30. And I've seen them launch as late as 8 o'clock.
That's
although
right,
as warm as it's been, I wouldn't plan on going up after that today. And I'm going to be as brokenhearted as anybody if we don't fly. But I guess maybe I should restate that. As much as the fans are out here dying to see these balloons, these pilots are ready to roll. I mean, they came in from all over the United States.
That's right.
All over the globe, as a matter of fact. We call it the International Balloon Fiesta for a good reason.
Exactly.
And they've invested a lot of time, a lot of money, and they would love to fly, and I know they will do their best. So we'll just see what happens.
Well, we're just going to hope that everything works out for the best. You know, you're right, though, Steve. I drove from the North Valley. You drove from the West Side. Some of these people went 6,000 miles to get here. So.
Yeah, I'm here and I want to fly.
That's right.
But they also don't want to tear up their balloons, you know,
for sure.
or injure anybody. And, you know, we have to constantly remind ourselves that as beautiful and spectacular of scenery as this creates, it is by its nature very, very dangerous. I mean, you're taking giant tanks of propane and floating around on the air with, you know, the high-tension power lines and homes and automobiles and things like that.
It takes real skill.
Safety comes first.
Absolutely. Well, you know, there is plenty to see here, and we just want to show you the sights and sounds and let you listen to a little bit of music while we wait for the final word on whether we're going to be seeing launches today. In the world of ballooning, the concept of strong wind is much different than what the average person might think. Just the change between 10 to 11 miles per hour can mean the difference between a safe ride and a serious situation. Wind, of course, is the most important consideration in ballooning safety. It's crucial from envelope inflation to flight to landing. In fact, more Balloon Fiesta mass ascensions are canceled due to wind than for any other reason, and it's all due to how sensitive balloons are to the wind. Well, first of all, hot air balloons fly best in a very narrow margin of wind speed, only about 4 to 6 miles per hour, and the maximum safe winds are 8 to 10 miles per hour. Here's why. During initial inflation on the field, the balloon fabric acts like a big sail, and 10-mile-per-hour winds can make it almost impossible to fill the envelope safely. That wind can impose a force of 3 to 10 tons, believe it or not, creating a tremendous strain on the gondola and envelope. This can cause the balloon to violently roll around, and in a worst-case scenario, get swept away. And then there comes the landing, the most important part of any flight. In a high-wind landing, the pilot must stop 3 to 10 tons of force moving at the speed of the wind. And keep in mind, balloons don't have brakes, so the pilot must skip, bounce, and drag the basket along the ground. A high-speed landing could cause the gondola to tip on its side, dragging dangerously to a stop. That's why Balloon Fiesta officials take no risk when it comes to ballooning safety. I'm Chief Meteorologist Eddie Garcia, KOB4.
So you just
The Balloon Meister has a big role in putting on a successful balloon fiesta.
I serve as the Balloon Meister for the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta.
Henry Rosenbaum has served in that position since 2019.
But our task is to put on 14 events during the 9 days of Albuquerque Fiesta and do that safely and also enjoyable for not only the pilots, the crews, but the spectators that are there to witness that spectacular event.
The Balloon Meister coordinates the operations for each event, working to keep pilots and guests safe. He decides when the green flag will go up for mass ascensions in the morning and oversees the balloon glows at night.
Yep. So some of the difference between a mass ascension or a balloon glow is that the balloons aren't flying. But the other responsibilities still are at hand. We still have balloons on the field. We still have spectators there to see a fantastic show.
The Balloon Meister also oversees competition at Balloon Fiesta.
Competition adds a unique part for any balloon event. But
Most days, pilots leave the balloon field and then return for competition. Balloon Fiesta officials will clear the competition area of spectators, then the balloons come back in.
And within an hour later, around the 8 o'clock time frame, they start to see the balloons coming in and doing a low flight over the competition area and actually dropping markers to score for that particular competition day.
It's a lot of work.
All kinds of challenges that are faced with the preparation of the event. But we're very fortunate that we've got a full-time staff there at the Fiesta office that works year-round to make sure that any of the challenges or any of our needs are met prior to us starting the event on this year.
All right, this is
My name is Nils Thorgesson, and I am the CEO of Verge Aero. So I got inspired by some TED videos probably 12, 13 years ago where professors were flying drones in formation in their laboratories. And I thought that was super cool and wanted to bring that into the world and do entertainment events with that technology. Here we are back for our third go at the Balloon Fiesta. We're going to have around 500. Every drone has a flight path that it's loaded with prior to takeoff, and they all fly their flight paths in a synchronized format, and that has been, pre-visualized and mathematically, calculated to make sure that no drones can intersect. Each year, we work together with the organizers to develop some content themes and ideas that we think would work well. And every year we make a new show, just because we don't want people to get bored with the same old show. So we try and keep it new and fresh and interesting. We do one every morning, and then 5 of the nights we're doing an evening performance. As long as they have balloons flying, we're also flying drones. This year, we're going to do a different one in the morning. And in previous years, it was the same, but we thought it'd be nice to offer a little variety this year. Yeah, normally it takes us a couple hours to get everything prepped. It sort of depends on how many people we have helping out. And we're very blessed that in Albuquerque, we have lots of volunteers who come and help us put the drones into position and pack them up at the end of the night. And so, in terms of the show itself, it's been designed in advance. And so on site, the pilot, to execute the show, really just presses a single button. He presses a go command. The labor on site is really just moving the drones around, getting them into position, and then the pilot's just making sure everything's safe, checking the area, and making sure that the drones, actually do what they're supposed to. We're super excited to return to Albuquerque. We love the Balloon Fiesta. It's an awesome event.
Oh, wow. We have the flyover after the opening ceremonies just started here at Balloon Fiesta. We just heard the Star Spangled Banner. Steve and I both had our...
My hat just fell off here.
Literally blew Steve's hat off.
Being off balance here. Yeah. There's something in the air here.
Yeah. Steve.
No balloons up yet.
Not yet, no.
Our producer did spot a couple of independent balloons flying out on the West Mesa. And gosh, I haven't given up hope yet, but we're on the way. And all you see are the folks out in the field firing up their burners, and boy, they are hoping that they're going to be able to fly this morning.
Yeah, and the issue right now is not necessarily at the surface, Steve, but as has been, talking about this morning, it's about what's up a little bit, about 1,000 feet, 2,000 feet, which is where the balloons fly.
Yeah, we've got a window of opportunity here. We'll stay on air until if and until we get word that they're not going to fly this morning. Very disappointing if they don't, of course. That's always the case, and it doesn't matter if it's rain or wind or whatever. It's usually one of those two things.
Right.
But we've had such a beautiful stretch of weather, and that makes it extra frustrating. I mean, it's been sunny and warm and calm for weeks now.
Right, and based on the forecast, as I was looking towards Saturday, things were looking favorable. But you know how things and weather can change in just a day.
Yeah, we've had a couple little systems, kind of tease the northeastern quarter of the state, and a lot of that squeezes through the gaps that we've got here in the mountains, the Sandias, and it all ties together, and we'll see what happens. We're just waiting and watching.
Right, and it has not stopped the crowd. We're going to be listening for the latest updates, but first we're going to take a quick break. Please come back and join us.
Never had that happen.
He was really, I think if you were part of ballooning, he was always open to talk and just greet you really warmly,
He's envisioned this for years and years, just this huge growth in these facilities, and he was amazing and forward thinking.
That zest for life that I talked about, see his smiling face. We do some pre-fiesta flights off the field, and every year I'd be standing there next to him, and we'd just be looking at what he built, and he'd just look at all the new balloons we had, all the balloons that were out there, and that's something that he built, and he was still amazed by it. So.
Truly a living legend, and we will have a full special on Monday at 6:30 on Scott Appleman, and you knew Scott pretty well.
Yeah, Scott was such a vital part of Balloon Fiesta, and heartbreaking for the whole ballooning community. And I'm really excited to see this show that Hawker Vanguard's been putting together, and look forward to what we'll learn about my buddy Scott.
All right, and we're going to bring you more coverage from right here at Balloon Fiesta Park, so stick with us and we'll give you the very latest.
Okay. Hello everybody, good morning. Steve Stucker here with our continuing Balloon Fiesta coverage. 52nd annual Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. And one of the long-running traditions is the New Mexico Quilters Association. Shirley's here representing them. You folks, men and women, really involved in the community year-round. You do a lot. Tell us a little about that.
Yes. Well, first, this is our 40th year to be at the Balloon Fiesta. We are the longest running vendor here on the field. And we also, this year, we're celebrating our 50th anniversary as a guild. So we're having a special occasion.
Well, I mentioned community service, and you have a sample of some of the things that you guys make and give away during the year, or provide for charity.
We give away about 500 to 600 quilts every year.
Wow.
And this is a sample of one of the patterns that we use. Of course, it would not have balloons on it. This is special for the Balloon Fiesta.
Yes.
But we give away to about 10 organizations in the state. And the money that we raise with this raffle quilt supports this endeavor.
Well, let's talk about the raffle quilt. Now, I'm holding a picture of it, and this is a nice picture. It's really beautiful, but it does not do justice to what you are raffling off. What's the actual size of the quilt people can win this year? Do you know?
It's about a twin size quilt. You could put it on a bed if you'd like, but we encourage you to hang it on the wall.
On the wall. I was going to say, yeah, it's too, it's too beautiful to sleep with, right?
That's true.
It really is a piece of art, and I haven't been by to see it yet, but I will go over after the show, and I'll get a good photo, and I'll post it on my Facebook page. Steve Stucker, New Mexico Weatherman. But this is really another gorgeous piece of work. And tell us about the raffle itself. How does that work?
We are selling raffle tickets, and they are $5 for one, $10 for three, or $20 for a book of 10. And you also get a pin included while supplies last if you buy them here on the field. You can buy them in person, or you can go onto our website, which is nmqa.org, and go to our online store, and you can purchase tickets online through Wednesday.
NMQA, as in Quilters Association. .org. Okay. Now, for those who are going to be coming out to Balloon Fiesta later this week, where do they find your booth out here?
We are very close to the one Albuquerque sign where people like to get their pictures taken. We're in booth 66.
Okay. Yeah, so very close to where we used to be there. Your traditional spot.
Exactly.
Same place you've always been.
There.
Well, please tell everybody involved I said hi. I've had the honor of drawing the winner's name for many years, and that's always so much fun. But we appreciate all the work you do in the community. Always great to see you out here. And tell everybody I'll come by and say hi. And we encourage you when you're out at Balloon Fiesta later this week, even during the weekdays, you have the booth manned out here.
Yes, we do.
And if anybody's interested in going beyond just buying a raffle ticket, maybe quilting is something they want to take up as a hobby. And you'd love that, wouldn't you?
Yes, we would. We encourage people to join us. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for coming by, Shirley.
Thank you.
And we are going to go ahead and go to some video of balloons that we have for you as our Fiesta coverage continues here at the 52nd Annual Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta.
Skyworm is named in part because it is in the sky, which is Earth's wormhole, but also because we like worms.
Oh, Skyworm, you will slip the surly bonds of earth and dance the skies in laughter-silvered wings. Sunward you'll climb and join the tumbling mirth of the sun-split clouds.
So, as you'll notice, there's a bit of a portal there on the Meow Wolf balloon, Skyworm. We are here because we are excited to take people through the portal into other different dimensions, maybe other different unexpected locations.
And with your burner centered within the mouth of your gas bag, we will raise a flame into your open envelope, heating your air within. Gored from throat to crown in ripstop nylon and dacron, inflated, luminous, buoyant.
Well, if you take a closer look at the balloon, you'll notice that it's a bit of an optical illusion, but also it has some of our maybe well-known characters making an appearance.
Noble Skyworm.
We're born here in New Mexico.
Intrepid Skyworm.
Our creative core is here in New Mexico. And
bulbous Skyworm.
We are here to stay in New Mexico.
Rise and power on.
So we really wanted to be part of this magical event that is the Balloon Fiesta. We've been watching it for so many years, and now we're finally part of it.
Starting to get some inflates.
Para mi mamita que me quita mi bombón. Mi mamita que me quita mi bombón. Quita mi bombón. Para mi mamita.
What you're seeing there are some envelopes cold inflating, and that is a very good sign because we just got the word that the green flag is going up and pilots have been given the all clear.
Yes.
That's very good news. Tom Harity is joining me now, and Tom, that is the color that is our favorite here.
It is. I mean, red or green, no. We definitely want green, and it just is now going up the flagpole right now. So that's fantastic.
We're seeing it here
That's
live.
great.
So some of the challenges earlier today, we had some high winds out here.
Yeah, we sure did. We had a layer at about 1,000 feet that was just kind of clipping up. But now we knew as soon as the sun got over the Sandias, that the winds calmed down and it's all really nice.
I'll tell you, as a meteorologist, like a lot of sweat off the brow there, getting a green flag because all week we've been forecasting that it is going to be a good opening weekend, and it really is. I mean, no one knows better than you. Attendance for this event is just putting us on the world stage.
Yeah, it is. We have a lot of national and international broadcasts that are happening here, obviously all throughout New Mexico on KOB4. And to have the balloons of the day, the two Balloon Fiesta balloons and the ExxonMobil balloon to inflate is going to be fantastic. Governor is flying today with Judy Nakamura.
Excellent.
In the Fiesta balloon.
Well, that's great. And of course, we have new shapes. I believe 15 new balloon shapes, and we have new balloonists from around the world. So, Tom, every year that we have this event, it seems like, and I'll tell you this, maybe it's my perception driving in, that this maintains a huge pool,
Yeah, it's we are thrilled to have so many people here on opening day. Just to, whether it's the 16 countries, North Macedonia is the newest country, 566 balloon pilots, and of course, you mentioned all the new special shapes that we have. And, but yeah, it's an exciting time.
All right, I think it's time to grab a breakfast burrito or two. I don't know. Some people have been out here for about 8 hours.
Maybe even longer. If you get two of them, you can put one in each pocket.
There you
keep
go.
Your hands warm.
Hey, you heard it from the pro himself, Tom Garrity. Thank you so much for joining us live. Looks like it's going to be a spectacular start to Balloon Fiesta. Let's listen to a little bit more music and watch as the pilots prepare to take flight. That is a good sight to see, the inflation of the balloons. And I'll tell you, from my perspective, still active duty meteorologist, Steve.
What? Me worry?
Retired, my friend. You're off the hook on this one.
Yeah, it's been so much fun. Everywhere I go, people say, "What's the weather?" And they laugh, and I'm like, I have no clue. I did study this week. I normally don't, but I was checking it out. And,
oh, yeah.
I've seen so many different situations over the years. And very often it's like this, where if we just wait, let the sun come up, let things settle in, we'll see what happens once they go up, you know. And even now, it's not a promise that we're still going to fly, although that is the plan.
Yeah.
We'll see how it looks once these teardrops stand up in unison, and see how many we're able to launch.
All it takes is a little bit of patience, you know. But we'll be right back. Stick around, because there's more to see at the first day of Balloon Fiesta. Welcome back to Balloon Fiesta. You know, it has been kind of touch and go this morning. Earlier, the wind was blowing. It looked like there was going to be a long-term yellow flag. We got the green flag, and we're off to the races now, Steve.
Well, yes, they're inflating behind us. You can see that is on the field, and we're very, very happy about that.
Yes, we are.
You want the definition of pressure is being a weatherman at the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta.
I say it is our Super Bowl, except it goes on for 9 days.
Well, and it is such a spectacular event, so weather dependent. Many things around the world are, but the balloonists are very sensitive, and you know, typically we can't fly if the wind hour. I've even seen places where that was a problem. And I hear the crowd. We've got the first balloon in the air this morning, and boom! Oh,
there
that's a good sign, isn't it?
That is a really good sign. We're going to go ahead and bring up the music and let you all enjoy the sights and sounds. All right, we have 2 minutes. More of this. Teddy Graham teddy bear. Steve. You know, I guess it's because Balloon Fiesta is coming up, but I was thinking you were training me 10 years ago today.
Has it been 10? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, we should mention that.
You and Rose think you want to stay for good?
Well, I do, but she doesn't.
Oh, really? Where would she prefer?
Anywhere.
Really? Denver? Maybe?
Well, we got kids all over the country. Our daughter's in Phoenix, our other daughter's upstate New York, my son's in Utah.
Not regular teardrop winners going up.
That's like a racing, yeah. There's Frankie. Yeah, see, I don't see them heading for Rio Rancho or even Corrales.
After we do the break, Steve, you'll jump out and I'll break from Chuck
Okay.
Jones.
But they're staying up. At least they're out there staying up now. So maybe, you know, it feels like it's calming down a little to me. Here.
That's you right there.
All right, welcome back. You know, so many things to see here at the International Balloon Fiesta. We have some special shapes, Steve, which are taking off now. We have the brain, we have the fox, and Frankie. Frankie looks like he wants to go and play. So overall, you know, it looks like the balloons are moving toward the northeast, Steve. But all in all, it looks like they're having a good time up there.
Yeah, you know, this is certainly better than nothing, and it's quite beautiful, quite spectacular by the standards of the rest of the world. It's not the enormous mass ascension that we often see here, but I'm happy to get this up so that the people that made the effort to come out early this morning get to see this. What's interesting is as they drift off to the northeast, they're keeping kind of a low altitude, and I've seen quite a few of them land, and I can see off in the distance it looks like a few are over towards Corrales.
Corrales, yes.
You know, in many cases, as they go that direction, we would expect to see a little higher in the air, so they probably know something that we're not aware of here on the surface. But it's really nice to see them going, and just happy to have what we've got.
That's right, and as we're grateful for what we have, we're going to take a little break, but stick with us, and there will be more Balloon Fiesta fun when we come back. very notable grandfather. I want to talk about that first.
Excellent.
Chuck Jones. He had a couple of famous characters. Tell me about that.
Well, first of all, I'm wearing one, so it kind of gives it away. But I think the most famous characters that he solely created, credited with solely Coyote.
That's right.
That happened to be 75 years old this month, and but he was father of Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Elmer Fudd, but he also created Marvin Martian, Pepe Le Pew, Michigan J. Frog. So yeah, he worked at Warner Brothers starting in the early 30s, and then continued until they shut the studio down in about 1963. And then went on to direct another 100+ films, like How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Wow.
For television. He couldn't stop. He did over 300 films in 7 decades. So.
For so many of us, all of those characters, those movies, those are core memories of childhood, you know?
I got memories of them too, but I in the same way you did.
Sure.
Enjoying the cartoons. Chuck was never famous when I was young. I mean, everybody kind of saw the name Charles M. Jones or Chuck Jones, but no one really understood the artistry behind it and how long the characters would last. I mean, obviously, Bugs Bunny turned 84 this year,
wow,
which is kind of crazy, and the Rabbit was even done before that. But all those guys worked for all those years for cartoons, 6-minute cartoons that got released in theaters, and they figured it was one. Knew that it was going to be decades and decades later to still be going
75 years
for
later.
Roadrunner and Coyote.
That's right. And you can't say Roadrunner and Coyote without thinking of Albuquerque, without thinking about New Mexico. Right?
Yeah, right? No doubt.
We're bonded with these characters here.
So there is a lot of history between New Mexico and Roadrunner and Coyote and Chuck.
Right.
And so, I mean, you know what the state bird is, obviously.
The Roadrunner,
right? The Roadrunner. Yeah. Well, so do you know what year it was created? The bird became the official bird of New Mexico. 1949, same year as the first Roadrunner Coyote cartoon.
Incredible.
Little another tidbit. Chuck actually shared this when we opened the gallery in Santa Fe in 1993. Chuck was born in 1912. Do you know when New Mexico became a state?
1912. That's right.
Everybody was just like, oh, wow. He really has the facts down. But he used to travel out here, and he loved the landscapes, and he used to watch the Roadrunners chase each other. And that was the whole thing, that in the late 40s, he and Mike Maltese, his writer, were looking for a chase, because Tom and Jerry were chasing, the Keystone's Cops were chasing, everybody was chasing, and they needed a chase. And so he came out to go square dancing in the Southwest, and loved it out here, and saw the Roadrunners chasing each other all over the place, which I do. I saw a Roadrunner just the other day when we got here, and very territorial animals. I mean, they literally will chase each other off of their land, and but Roadrunner chasing a Roadrunner didn't make a lot of sense. So Chuck actually reached back. He was a voracious reader, taught him and read Mark Twain religiously. When he was 7 years old, he read a book called Roughing It, and he said that there was a passage in there that described his experience with the coyote, and it says he's a long, slim, sick, and sorry-looking skeleton with a gray wolf skin pulled over him. He's got a reasonably shaggy tail that hangs down too low. He's the allegory of one. It goes on, and he said at 7, it emblazoned in his brain, and 30 years later, when they were looking for another character, he pulled that out. And if you look at what the coyote looks like and that description, you know, he's just scrabbly, and
that's right.
So that was how it all started. It actually started in 1947 and finally got released in 1949, 75 years ago.
He's scrappy but a favorite.
I tell you, he is.
And still an icon 75 years later. Craig, thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, hey, I got to share with you 75. Here's the official 75th pin.
Nice.
We got them down with different t-shirts and stuff down right on the south. Come down and
come by and see Craig for the very latest in Coyote and Roadrunner memorabilia. And we're going to leave you with more sights and sounds and music from this 52nd Balloon Fiesta. Thank you.
You give me
All right, we are live here at Balloon Fiesta, and I'm so grateful that not only are we getting the teardrop shapes, but we're getting special shapes up in the air, Steve.
Oh my gosh, look at that, look at that. You know,
Right.
it is just a gorgeous sight to see the sun just sparkling off of those envelopes.
Oh,
and
man.
everybody drifting to the northeast. Doesn't look like they're taking real long flights, but don't you agree they're longer flights than we were seeing a half hour ago?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was kind of touch and go there for a little bit. I was monitoring the upper air. You know, before we got the green flag, sometimes it was up to about 30 miles per hour, Steve. But as you can see right here, so many of those envelopes are inflating. I think some are, you know, the bigger shapes are kind of just, you know, inflating to show off to the crowds around.
Yeah. Probably just going to tether and not launch. But you know, we see even the ones that are flying are maintaining a fairly low altitude. They're keeping it fairly close to the ground. It looks like most of them within 200 to 400 or 500 feet, probably off in the distance. But that's okay.
That's just fine.
Definitely not going to have a box today.
No complaints.
And as we're speaking, I feel a little bit more of a breeze here at the surface.
Yeah, it's coming and going.
That'll change moment to moment, but it's a beautiful sight to behold.
It really is, and the crowd here is enthusiastic. I think everyone has their favorites in terms of balloon and shape. We are hearing the crowds cheering whenever inevitably another one takes off. And, you know, it's also a question of how long will the conditions be good for these balloons temperature-wise, because it's so warm out here right now.
Yeah. And I want to talk a little bit about what's to come, of course. So we have the evening glows.
Yep.
There are 5 of those scheduled. We'll have one tonight, one tomorrow night, weather permitting, if he lets us. And
hey now.
And then of course another mass ascension tomorrow morning. And then if you're new to Balloon Fiesta, one of the things that's unique is that it goes all 9 days from start to finish. And Monday through Friday, they do reduced in size, but still a mass ascension, followed by pilot competitions. And those are real interesting because they launch from off the field and then drift over Balloon Fiesta Park to test their piloting skills with accuracy, and a couple of different ways they test that. Also, several special events during the week, the Flight of Nations on Wednesday.
Correct.
And then they bring out all the special shapes on Thursday and Friday morning, and Friday is KOB Kids Day 2, and I'll be out here again on Friday, again tomorrow morning. So we hope at some point during the week that you'll be able to come by and say hi.
That's right. You know, and the thing is, you know, you leave early, you give yourself enough time, patience, and no problem, Steve. You can get out of here. You can get out here, no problem. And that's, you know, the balloons and the events are just one part of this. We have so many local vendors here, so much good food, memorabilia. I mean, you're a showcase for all the pins that we have.
I call it good, bad food. You know, I don't know if there's anything healthy out here, but it sure is good. I love it.
Good to the tummy, but I don't know. You know, it's good.
No, but you're right, and it is a social event. Sort of like a family reunion for a lot of us. You know, many of us, even people from overseas, there's a lot of them that I don't see the rest of the year, but we see them out here. And it's a great place to shop for your family and friends for Christmas gifts, because there's such a wide array of balloon-related items out here.
That's right, and some good mariachi music. We're going to go and let you see some more sights and sounds, so enjoy. Becca, do you know which one? Do you know the name? Jot balloon? Jota balloon. Jota. Yep. Jota. Green elephant. Okay, they said we're coming back to chat with anchors and then toss to break.
Joey, they're taking Joey live.
Woo! Man.
You don't need that at all. You're welcome to take it off. You don't need it.
I might.
Oh wait, whose is this? Do you know? That's Steve's, isn't it? Oh.
That's all right. I'm just.
Okay. All right.
I wore. I'm okay. This is the backyard weather collection. Say again? Oh, yeah. Joey, do you know how far out we are? Okay. Hey, there's another special shape going up. 4 minutes, all right. 4 minutes, Steve. Wow, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised that these special shapes are taking off, Matt.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think because they're a different shape, they have a little bit more resistance.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Has signal from Chopper been a challenge?
They're on a 20-second delay. Yeah. It's super unreliable.
Really?
I've already swapped a few emails with Michelle. or texts. She's like, "What are 7 and 13 at?" I was like, "Microwave, the thing that we don't have." So.
The last viewer email we got said it was worse than watching a show from the 70s.
Lovely. Worse than watching a show from the 70s. Oh gosh, there's a lot.
Thanks for being out here to witness mass ascension. 52nd Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta powered by ExxonMobil.
So, I mean, we can bump it up to 20.
Let's get Stever over here.
Do we want to just bump this up to a 20-second delay and like we'll just work off your IFB instead of?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're just kind of talking on broad terms. So, yeah.
Let's do it. Let's bump it up to 20. Make sure they know before I do this. Okay, stand by.
1 minute.
1 minute. Good. Good break. 1 minute, Steve. Tuesday, 1st of July. Oh, look at you and Mr. Shirt Sleeves.
I had to shed that jacket, man.
Yeah.
Well, that looks nice.
Good morning, everybody. We are coming to you live from the 52nd Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, and I have the mayor of Albuquerque, Tim Keller, with me. Mayor, you know, I think that as far as balloons go, today is a little different, but it is a great show out here.
It is. You know, in some ways, you want a late start on the first day. Let everyone get time to get in, get through all that traffic.
Yeah, that's right.
And let it warm up a little bit. Of course, toasty one actually right now.
It is.
Short sleeves. I love it. And so really, actually, the mornings worked out great. And I think we had the usual, you know, snafus here and there with traffic. But the late start really helped everyone get in time.
I really do think that the crowd out here has been enthusiastic. You know, it looks every bit as big as any opening day that I've seen before. Really good business for New Mexico.
You know, absolutely. This is $200 million of economic impact to our state, and of course, mostly in Albuquerque. And so, look, we love it because we love balloons, we love Balloon Fiesta, but we also appreciate all that economic impact. And so, and it's going to continue. You know, we've got, you know, Greek Fest is going on.
Yeah.
Old Town has programming all in the afternoons. And so, you know, the city also kind of comes alive once this shuts down mid-morning.
You know, maybe take a little nap. I don't know what time some of you woke up. I know that for me it's 2 a.m. For you, probably didn't even get a week of sleep.
More than you, actually, this time. That is rough. That's rough.
Well, Mayor, thank you so much for joining us. Really inviting everyone to come out here this week. I think it's going to be a great one.
You know, absolutely. And remember, we always have our glows. So especially a lot of locals, you know, not all of us are always like, oh, you know, I'm going to get up and go to the fiesta, because we've all get to enjoy this all the time.
That's right.
But the glows are a lot of fun, and there's always a good firework display, even if there's not as many balloons. Typically that always happens, and there's a great drone show, actually, which is really cool.
That's right.
So don't forget the glows, and, you know, we'll see Special Shapes is the one we haven't had in many years because of weather.
That's right, yep.
So Thursday evening, I believe, and Friday morning. Maybe for the first time in several years, we'll get awesome Special Shapes.
I will do my best as a meteorologist to try to see that happens.
Make it happen. Work your magic.
Mayor, thank you so much for joining us, and we're going to go ahead and leave you with the sights and sounds of Balloon Fiesta. All right. How's it going?
Yeah, literally, like, I tried going down that road to the left, and it was just
balloons you think went up? Just took them so fast.